John Eats Cheap, doing a meal that Mrs. Cheap and I love. Now, I did a video a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, on beef stroganoff. I love it. I used to use those little like Knorr packets or the little pre-made packets of mix until I found out how easy it was to really make. And so tonight, if you do it with usually cubed beef, you have to cook it a little while to let that beef get good and tender. And tonight I thought, let's try it with hamburger. That's the beef flavor. It's already tender. I browned it up already. I got my other ingredients ready, so this will be hopefully a lot quicker and taste just as good. So there I diced up, that's about 1/4 to half an onion. These are portobello mushrooms. We had some extras left over and they were almost ready to go bad, so I just sliced them and froze them. They're not going to taste like fresh mushrooms. When you cook them in something like this, when you're going to saute them and put them in another dish, I think they should be really fine. So I'm going to go ahead and put those into 3 tablespoons of butter. So there we go, 3 tablespoons of butter. Just going to saute these up for several minutes. That smells awesome. Onions and mushrooms. I'm just going to shake in a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. There we go. So my noodles are done. Those are draining. My mushrooms and onions are ready. You take 1/4 cup of flour. I'm doing just a little less than 1/4 cup. I have 1.5 cups of beef broth, and this is actually some au jus that Mrs. Cheap and I had left over from some Italian beef sandwiches. So I'm just using what I have. Whisk that flour in there. Just like that. And then we're going to add this to the onions and mushrooms. We'll throw in our beef as well. So the ground beef goes in. Our 1.5 cups of beef broth and 1/4 cup of flour goes in. Just going to mix that up a little. We want to cook that flour a few minutes, and that'll really thicken it up as well. But before I stop, I want to add a little Worcestershire sauce. Just, a few shakes. Just kind of like that, a little extra flavor. That was maybe a teaspoon. Let that mix up until it gets a little thick. So we're bubbly, cooking off a couple of minutes, and we're going to add 1 cup to 1.5 cups of sour cream. This is a 2-cup container. I'm going to go with about that much. And just mix that in until it's hot, and we'll be ready to go. Once this is all incorporated, we'll give it a taste test. Because that's just going to go on our noodles. Want to make sure it's seasoned correctly. That's very good. Seasoned to taste. This is where you would taste it and add seasoning to taste. But that's done. So we're going to plate it up. So there we go, just the egg noodles cooked to order. There's our easy beef stroganoff. It does take a lot less time than the other way. And taste-wise, it's the same. Texture-wise, I do like those beef chunks. But this is really easy, and you could easily really make a lot more. Just like that. Salt and pepper if you'd like after you taste it. And when we're done with the leftovers, we'll just go ahead and throw the noodles in here and mix it all up together. It makes it really easy to reheat the next day or a day or two later for lunch. Easy beef stroganoff. It tastes just the same as using the beef chunks or strips. A lot easier though. Great for dinner and lunch tomorrow or the next day. Thanks for watching John Eats Cheap. Really simple. It's pretty cheap too. Follow us on TikTok too. We're on the TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Give us a like, a share, a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.